Hi, this is Ken Urban for CSC 125. We've just finished off our node class, so we can kind of add nodes. Now we're going to put sort of the controller around it, which we're going to call the linked list. So I'll do a little more of this code. I'm going to add a class. We call it linked list, so the general class is going to be linked list. We're going to get rid of the destructor for now, and then we're going to create it. Add it to the current project. Sure. So now we have this linked list class. Linked list consists of, will eventually consist of a lot more things, but for right now, I'm just going to have a node pointer called my head and a node pointer called my tail. Right? The head is where the first element is, and the tail is where the last element is. I don't have any actual nodes in here. I just have where nodes are. So it's keeping track of where things are. Doesn't have actual copies of those things. In order to make a compile, I'll of course need to include node.h. Now, over here in my list CPP, I'll leave the constructor in here, right? That's the default. I'm going to set my head equal to my tail equal to null, right? That means that if the head's not pointing to anything and the tail isn't pointing to anything, that means the list is empty. That means that there's nothing in our list. So everything should compile, hopefully. Just go clear out any syntax errors we have in here. Nope, it's still running. Let's go out into main, down here, and we'll create a linked list called, I don't know, LL. How about that? I'll need to include it. Still compile. Okay. We don't really need, this was the node testing stuff. I guess we can take this out. Let me just comment it, because you never know, for debugging we may want it at some point. Okay, so now we are going to create a linked list. Next thing we want to do is to be able to print out that linked list. And I haven't written this function, but let's go and put it in there. Right, it's going to kind of look the same. It's a friend function. It returns an O-string reference. It's called operator, stream insertion operator. Operation put to. The first argument is again an O-string reference. I like to call it O. And then this is followed by a linked list reference. I'm going to call it LL. Yeah, it's kind of important to make this a reference so we don't end up copying the linked list in order to print it, right? We only want one linked list. We don't want to make copies of everything every time we print it. So it's important to make that a reference. It also keeps our addresses from breaking. Since I'm using that, I need to include IOStream. Well, while I'm at it, I know I'm going to need at some point to include string, and I'll put am I using namespace standard. Okay, now I have to actually write the code. I like to just copy this prototype from here, in the CPP file. And we have our prototype. Of course, we can't leave the word friend in here. Friend is only for prototypes, I believe. And now we have our linked list class. So what are we going to do to print it out? To start off with, let's put our return in there so we don't forget it. We're going to change this as we do things and we think about how it works. But it's possible, and we just saw that when it's created, that the list can be empty. So if Now I want to write a function which tells if it's empty or not. So I'm going to call it empty. Let's call it is empty. Good habit to begin Boolean functions with is. So if this linked list is empty, what we will say, how do we say, empty. This is just for debugging. That's why I'm putting all these indels in here. If we decide to change this to make it more useful for some reason, I get rid of all these indels. And what we'll do is that if it's not empty, this is where we'll do our work of figuring out what's in there. But I've said I have this empty method, which I haven't written yet. But we've decided that when these are equal to null, it's empty. So the last piece for here, I'm going to go into my header, put in my sort of prototype for it. It's public. It's a Boolean called is empty. And yeah, I'm just going to put it in line. It's empty if the head is equal to null, so I'm just going to return that. I think I have all my pieces in here. Let's compile it and see. It says I lost my semicolon up here. One more try. There, list is empty. Okay, thank you.